Hi, here we are again, and I'm sitting in my garden underneath my tapioca plant, a tapioca bush. So for those of you who don't know what a tapioca bush looks like, I'll give you a look right now. So this is what tapioca looks like, and at the base is a root system, a lot of fine roots with some very large tubers, and that's the root that people eat. They slice up and they bake, they fry, they do many different things to it, but that's the tapioca plant. And you can carefully dig down there, extract those tubers, and still leave the plant alive because you leave all the rest of its root system intact. And this loses its leaves here during winter because it doesn't like the cold weather and the frost. I don't know what it's like in other areas of the world, but they grow back quite lush, as you can see, as long as you give it some TLC, and that means water. Today I want to talk to you about a very nutritious herb. They say that 4 leaves or adult leaves of this plant is enough to supply your mineral needs for a day. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I do know that this plant is very mineral rich. It's one of the ones that I use quite frequently for that reason. Great nourishment. It's called dandelion, and so let's go and have a look at some. So here we have a dandelion plant, and if I come in a bit closer for you, you'll see it's got these nice shiny smooth leaves and these pointy ends, these jagged type leaves. Dandelion actually comes from dente lion, dente meaning teeth, the Latin term for teeth, I believe. So dente lion or dandelion, with leaves shaped like lion's teeth. And dandelion is particularly great because it's probably your richest source of iron that you're going to find. I don't know many other things or any other thing that has a richer source of iron than dandelion, and it's organic iron. And not only does it contain many other minerals, which I'll list in a second, but it does have the vitamins A, C and E, and vitamin C, which is essential for absorbing non-heme, that's plant sources of iron. But you could always combine it with other fruits as well. So excellent source of iron. It contains chromium. It's also a source of selenium, your anti-cancer, antioxidant. It also contains your normal minerals: sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, and I think it's even got boron in it. But it'll have heaps more than that. So it's really nutritious plant. Oh, and it even contains silicon. So silica for keeping your hair, nails and skin healthy. So it's a really great source of minerals. But they'll grow in almost any condition. Here's another one over here. And if you're patient enough, when they start to flower, and the flower will be one stem which will come out from the middle and it'll come up and it'll have one single flower, one stem, and the stem is hollow. And if you're patient enough, that'll self-see in the rest of the garden. And I have planted from about half a dozen dandelions in my garden, maybe 6 to 8 dandelions in my garden. I now have them starting to come up at various other points in the garden, which is awesome because this is a great food which you can have. A lot of people consider it a weed. The definition of a weed is a plant growing in the wrong place. And if you know what your plants are, then most of them, in fact all of them, are pretty much growing in the right place. Now this one here, if you can see this is not dandelion. This is actually flatweed, or otherwise known as cat's ear. And you can see its leaves aren't so pointy, and they also have a very fine fur on the leaves. I'll see if I can zoom in and show you. So if you look very closely, you'll see little hairs on the leaf. Now these are absent in true dandelions. There you go, there's a good shot there. You can see these little hairs on the leaf, and these are absent in true dandelion. The flowers on flatweed also, they have multiple flowers per stalk, whereas dandelion only has 1 flower per stalk. Now you can eat these. People have eaten these, and livestock like horses have eaten these, and they survive, but they don't thrive. And what ends up happening is they start to have muscle cramps and spasms. There's something that so the kidneys have difficulty in disposing of some of the compounds that are in this type of plant. So this is called cat's ear or flatweed. Multiple flowers per stalk, and its leaves are completely different. Hairy leaves, not pointy. So here we are looking down on some more dandelion, and we've got a bit of parsley mixed in here. But if I get in a little bit closer, you can see it's quite lush. The leaves are very lush and robust, because this area of the garden gets a lot more water than the previous area which I showed you. And you can also see the upright nature of these leaves. These leaves are more upright, whereas flatweed, given its name, they're very flat, lie very close to the ground. And if I pan across just here, here's a related plant. This is called dandelion chicory. So it's a chicory plant crossed with dandelion. And it flowers like a chicory plant, but its leaves look a lot like a dandelion. But this is more upright again and grows much larger. So here's an example of two stems. These are about to flower, and they have that awesome sunburst, that golden sunburst flower, if you know what dandelion looks like. So it's a shame none of flowering to be able to show you, but here you can see one stalk and one flower head on top. Very different to the other plants, the cat's ear type species, which people mistake for dandelion. So as we pan through another area of my herb garden, and there's some French sorrel there, not a bad plant, we can talk about that some other time. In here you see flatweed, so people might think that's dandelion, but it's not. It's got furry leaves. Its leaves are furry. The light's not very good, so I don't know if I can show you, but you can see a white film on the leaf as I tilt it, and that's its little fur. The leaves aren't pointy, they're not sharp and serrated like the dandelion, they're quite round, and it's jammed up here next to against the bed, but other than that it's very flat. So that's flatweed, do not confuse with dandelion. So there you have it, dandelion. They say it's good for the kidneys. Well, kidneys filter the blood, and dandelion will be great for the blood, the chlorophyll, and a rich source of iron for hemoglobin and your red blood cells. I say, you know, if you want it, if you like it, if it harmonises with you, then just eat it. Don't worry about treating symptoms, just get in lots of good quality minerals, and dandelion is a great way to do that. It is a little bit bitter, so put it into a salad, add some orange with it, slivers of orange, there's your vitamin C as well, it will help you absorb the iron, things like that. A nice raspberry coulis made from fresh raspberries and a little bit of freshly squeezed orange juice, and that'll, you know, make your salad taste pretty fantastic. We'll see you again soon. Bye bye.